Welcome everybody to Two Facet Podcast, the podcast where we talk about building digital products. My name is Juncal Gonzalez. I'm a product designer and I'm here with my co-host
Matt Mikulski. I'm a product manager.
Yes, and today this is the third part of a 3-part episode where we are shaping some ideas. So basically we are using the shaping methodology from ShapeUp. Yeah,
from Basecamp.
Exactly.
Shape up,
Sorry.
But we're gonna be saying a lot of times shaping, shape up, and things like this. So absolutely no worries. Yeah.
Yes.
So what we've done the last episodes, right?
Yes. So first, on the very first episode, we were reviewing the context of the problem, what we know. We were defining the problem, narrowing it down. And in the last episode, we were talking about ideas. Basically, what solution we want to go for, how would we shape the idea. And basically, we started drawing already, but more to give a shape to our conversation. But we should try to, for now, restart again this shaping process, so we are clear that we have everything. And what is it that we're going to do today?
Yeah, so today we will be doing something called breadboarding, and then the other exercise called fat market sketches. So basically what we're going to be doing today, the goal of it is to check if the solutions we previously were thinking about, so the possible solutions, where are they in the system? Do they fit in the system? Are we not missing any important pieces or flows for the users to be able to do whatever we are working on in a shaping session? And then after breadboarding, fat market sketches is drawing some UI.
Yes.
In a very unelegant way, similar to what we did in the previous episode, maybe actually with less detail. If you can imagine that one less detailed, but yeah.
It's kind of doing some wireframes, but even less details than the wireframes.
You can imagine it's like because the end goal of the shaping sessions is like once you shaped everything, you go for writing a pitch. So shaping just allows you to understand what are your boundaries, what this should do, what it shouldn't do, etc. And then you write one-pager document describing your whole idea. And for me, I found really useful the fat market sketches when I'm writing that document. So it's like, and then the user should have in a settings screen under the address something, no? And if I have 3 squares, it's usually easier to visualize and explain than writing these long sentences trying to visualize in someone's brain where it should be and more or less what should be the interactions. But of course I don't care if it's gonna be modal, button, second form, screen, application, unneeded for me. No, it's more about interaction. What should be the interaction of the user?
Exactly. It should represent the direction of the solution, no? Where in the system, more or less. But it should give enough room for later the designer in the team and the front end and the developers to actually get into the details, no? And decide how they really want to make it.
Yeah, and sometimes it's gonna be totally you're gonna draw it and it's gonna be just lines and crosses and boxes. But sometimes I'm just using screenshots, no? So it's fine for me to screenshot our product and just put ugly buttons on top saying like buttons. Imagine there will be interactions, no? They don't need to be pretty. It's more like, hey, let's use this screen and you see we have spaces here. Could we play around with this?
Yes. And this is one of the most challenging part as well, like the level, the exact level of definition, no? Because when we are working, a lot of times it's like we want to give more and more detail because we have all the ideas, no? But we need to try to stop at some point. Let's see how we do it today.
Yeah. So, breadboarding. So the last time on the session, we decided that we'll go with the conversation flow as a solution. What's interesting in this one, especially thinking breadboarding, is you can see that instead of being super specific here and saying you opening a modal or doing anything, we say here that we get info if the vote is from the customer or the opinion. So we just ask the user how, up to the team or the designer that's going to be designing it. But from our perspective is we do believe that it should be one call to action. So we discarded the idea with having separate actions, etc. So it should be transparent for the contributor that they want to add a vote, and then we will gather this information one way or another. We know there are additional informations that we may want to get, and then afterwards the given vote is saved in our database. So sounds like the flow we want to go for. And then on the analyzer part, so we do have people that read those feedbacks and analyze them. In this one, we want to give them ways to. So in our product, you have a listing of your ideas or signals, and then you can filter and order them. So instead of building any super complex reports, we also thought like, hey, if you can filter down to the ideas that are in your interest and you can see their popularity and check in between, it should be fine. No? So this is what we want to cover today with the breadboarding. So the flow for the contributor to add a feedback or vote, and then for the other person to be able to see which ones are the most popular or impactful feedbacks in a tool.
Exactly. So
let's go for it.
Let's go for it.
Breadboarding. There are a few things that we have in a template just to guide us. So where is the current system does the new thing fit? No? So where's the space for this new thing that you want to do? Is there any already existing space in the system?
Yes.
Maybe now you've just invented something new. How do you get to it? No, so it's like how users supposed to know about it. What are the key components and interactions, and what does it take you? So where does it take you? So where the user ends? No, what's the end result of the work?
So we are going to create one for the contributor. These are our users, and we will do another one for the analyzer. No.
Yeah.
Okay. So
then the framework that's proposed in the book is, you can imagine you have from here I would create screens,
yes,
interactions, buttons, whatever. So this would be my headline on the top, and then beneath you start listing all of the interactions that are available on this screen. No? So and from there we can start connecting them with arrows. So for the contributor, I would say you need to add vote. No.
Yes, that's the action. And they do it where? They do it in main screen, no?
Yeah. Because we can think about searching and how do they get to the screen, etc. But yeah, for simplicity, I would say.
But right now, at the end of the day, they only have like a one main call to action in the main screen, no? So let me show it for here. So no matter where you are in the platform, you have this action. So that will be the entry point. But
here you add new signal.
Yes.
And if you go to ideas, then I believe the action we are talking about is this +1, so the vote one.
True. Yes. You're absolutely right.
It may be that depending on solution, it would inherit a lot from the new signal.
Yes, but the entry point is different.
So just to explain, no? So if we click here, what you will see is a form, and then the form is identical. So if we click new signal, the form is identical here and there. So
it's the same one, and this is what we want to change to differentiate them more, no? To make them more custom. Okay. So then the starting point is the list of ideas. Yep. That's the starting point.
Yep.
Okay. So the contributor enter to the list of ideas. Yep. And here,
let's do a list of ideas bold, so we will know which one is the name of the screen.
Okay.
And then in list of the ideas, you can click on upvote.
Upvote.
Yeah, and then you can also, so since this main call to action is existing in every screen, I would say you can also add signal.
Okay.
And it's a complication that you have, so we do have two different actions that you need to understand what they do.
So so like here we're mapping both of them, so we know they both exist.
Yeah.
In case we need to.
For now, let's keep it here because maybe there's gonna be something like this.
Okay.
What else they can do here? They can browse any of the ideas to see details and comments. Or maybe I would call it check idea details.
Okay, I was thinking more that they can filter and stuff, but this is like.
Yeah, I'm going for idea details just because I know that once you open an idea details, we have another upvote button.
Okay.
So
okay.
It's just I know the system already.
Okay.
And then this is also a behavior of the users, no? So I would say they will be like, okay, but what's about this idea?
You're right.
You're not always gonna upvote from like an excerpt in the search, you know. You're sometimes gonna go like, oh, what's about it, and then you read it, and then maybe you need this.
So first they need to browse ideas. They can filter or search. they can filter, search, scroll.
Yeah.
No, because you're right. First, the user will enter and see, okay, let me see what's in there about this topic, or maybe new ones, or what it's in there, no? And then they check the idea details.
Those are the other actions. And is there any other action in there?
To put, yes, you can, but maybe it's not for this use case, but you can share the idea as well with someone else.
Yeah, but for now, let's
But
say...
it's completely out of...
Yeah. Okay, so what happens when you click on add signal? So
when you click on add signal, you add like new signal model. Even if we're not touching it, shall we add it?
Yeah,
Okay.
please.
So we have...
Trust me on this one.
I will trust you. New signal model. We have one hand, no?
Yeah.
And this is when we click on add signal. And as opposed to upvote.
Let's link it for now to new signal model 2 because we don't have yet idea.
It will be our new model. What I'm thinking, okay, so were you thinking to use the same model for
Maybe.
both?
Yeah. So upvoting is one, and then we want to know if it's on behalf or not. But when you add original feedback, we also want to know this information. No? We don't assume the signal comes only from contributors or only on behalf. It may be like...
I see what you mean.
In my life, I did feedbacks to user signal about user signal.
Because you're
not
a
on
user.
behalf. Yeah, and you should be, no?
But not on every case, no?
No, not on every case, but this exists, no?
This exists. Like, I want to give feedback of my own product.
Exactly. So it's like, I want to give you my opinion. Like with upvotes, no? So if we assume that in upvotes this is possible, so you can leave your opinion or a customer feedback.
Yes, why not?
When you add the feedback, you should also be able to say, this is my opinion.
I want to add my feedback. This is my opinion. We should change from blue to red, whatever. That's my opinion, and I want to put it. Okay.
So then maybe it's fine to use identical form.
Okay. So you see, this is why it's super good to do this exercise, because when we are in this level of abstraction, it's like
we start inventing a lot of stuff. So.
And then you see, like, okay, how many screens actually are we going to have?
Okay, and then in new signal, what we need to have is obviously description, right?
Yes. We need the description.
We have something called customer link. So instead of having a customer per se, we have just outside links to the customers.
Yes. This is what we currently have. We currently have the country as well.
Yeah, let's everything after the customer, let's call it additional data.
Okay, because we have files attached as well.
Yeah, but it's like not super important for our...
No. We have description, we have customer link, and... Okay. Yeah, and then country, files. If eventually we add more things in the future, like a tag or whatever...
Yeah. And then, it's configurable by user, so they can have different things there. But I do believe this is the crucial one for us. Okay, and then once you start browsing the ideas...
Then you upvote.
You can also upvote, but I would do the screen for the idea details.
Okay.
Just to be sure what types of informations we should show you there.
Okay, so idea details, I would put it here, because from the idea details we will get to the model as well, no?
Mm-hmm. And I believe you will also in a minute start connecting analyzer to this also.
Okay, so in the idea details we have the
additional data.
We have the description as well.
Yeah.
No? So sorry. Title and description. Yes. Because the idea has also a title.
And then we have a list of signals, basically. No?
Yes. List of the signals and the action for upvoting.
Yeah.
And then you can upvote. And this will take us again to our new amazing model that we will create.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Do we have anything else in here? I'm checking the...
Yeah.
Well, we have tags, we have topics, but this is additional data. Important thing, we have comments, but the important thing is that you see the signals and you can upvote.
Yeah. And for the contributor, it's not that interesting or important, like what are the other customers that gave this feedback, etc. No, so I guess we don't need to pay too much attention here.
Yeah, and also we see the edit, but the contributor doesn't see the edit.
No, they cannot edit this one.
Okay.
Okay, awesome. So we have this.
Okay, so we will have like a just one model. Is there any other place where they can upvote in the system? Okay.
The one thing that I would say that I saw, and this may be an opportunity that we could sneak in here, is and this is designed, no?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we should make it somehow explicit. It's like upvote section is small and above comments. So what I see sometimes is people upvoting by commenting.
Yes. But we would need to check into this.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if they upvote as comments. Because this is this. So when you add a signal, just like a signal, there's no way you can upvote it without adding it to idea. And sometimes for the moderators, it takes some time to add this signal to the idea. And one reason could be that people really want to upvote, and that's why they are upvoting from the comments. So we can have a look into this. So then, as you said, they go here.
This may be a lot of complication of upvoting now of signals. Okay. Let's forget about this part for now. It doesn't exist, and maybe I would complicate. Yeah, true.
I mean, I would just add it like as something we need to have a look into it and fix.
Yeah.
See why. Yeah.
But probably not part of the scope of this exercise.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So sounds like we are nice for the contributor, no? So this is the way of upvoting. Can they delete the upvotes? Actually, we by ourselves decide that they don't have way of controlling their own signals through the whole system.
No, not yet.
Not yet.
It's something we starting thinking, but not yet. Yeah. So right now they cannot. Yeah, they cannot remove a vote. They cannot edit.
There is one important thing though that we forgot about totally. So in our system we have moderators.
Yes.
What should happen with those signals?
Okay. So we have our contributor here. Yeah. And then the moderator will come at some point. Yeah. Because you're right. I mean, we still need to work on this part, but once you create a new signal, then it's like pending moderation. It's not a screen, it's like a status. I don't know how to, but you're totally right. And then the moderator will take some actions. Okay, so we start with the contributor, then we'll go to the moderator, and then the analyzer is receiving all this information.
Exactly. So then with the moderation right now, let's say that every of those upvotes would end up as an item for the moderator to moderate.
Exactly. So the moderator enters the signal list, and what do they need to do in there? They need to moderate, which basically it's accept or reject. Yeah. That's a moderation, no?
Yeah, but in order not to add them too much work, maybe we can start thinking about it a bit, no? So, and this is why I believe we can fork out signal and vote, even though they come from the same form. Okay. So I would say if it's a signal, I mean, I have a feedback. A lot of time I'm gonna have description, maybe customer link, things like this. And I believe this kinds of stuff should be moderated, no?
Yes.
So it's like, what the hell did I type there, etc. But if I'm just like saying, I like it, save. So let's say I don't give any description, customer link, nothing. I just click upvote and save. You basically show empty signal, no?
Yes,
it's just
this
like,
one doesn't need moderation.
Hunka liked this one. And
that's it.
Do you want to accept the fact that Hunka likes it, or you want to reject this fact? It makes no sense, no?
Yes,
So I would change the system here.
Yes. Well, right now we only have moderation just for for the listeners, because maybe it's a feedback of something that already exists, or something that is not super well written and you cannot understand it. So it's like a just basic moderation to see if we really want to have it as an input or not.
Exactly.
So in order to do what you were saying, we need to actually work here on, I don't know how to phrase it, but then it's like, is it on behalf of whom? Indicate?
No. So behalf is one thing, but I would say it's right now more about the intention of the user. So is it, I like it? Or is it, I have a feedback for you?
Yes, sorry, I was meaning the same, no? So indicate if feedback or vote. Yeah. And this is basically this part here, no? That is number 2. We get info either the vote is for the customer or it's an opinion.
Yeah, but this is on the behalf or not. So for if it's feedback or vote, I would decide on a starting point. So if you start from add signal,
okay.
you add signal. If you start from upvote, you upvote.
So then why shouldn't we, at least here in the breadboarding, separate the screens? Because also then the upvote one will have more complexity than the add signal. Because if the add signal, it's always a feedback that requires moderation.
Yeah, to some extent. So what I would do is like I kind of trying to redo the wheel, and I know we had this discussion with this backend way that I wanted to kill, but how about getting it back? So making some system assumptions.
Okay.
So if you don't have description and it's not connected to any idea, this is shitty feedback that I would not accept, no?
Okay. So you're saying, does it have description?
Yeah.
What was the other thing you said?
So I would be, if we do this like a sequence, my checking would be first, if we have a new signal saved, does it have description?
Mm-hmm.
If it has description, I would always ask moderator to check it, no?
Okay.
Because there is some information. If it's like
someone wrote something and it's, yeah.
Exactly, and we are living in the internet. Not every information sometimes is needed.
This is why we have moderation, no? Just
Exactly.
to make sure it makes sense and it's like properly
By the
understandable.
way, super optional in the product, no? If you want to buy, we can turn it off. But we do. In the current implementation and the beta test we run, we do have moderation. So for me, if it has description, it should go to the moderation. If it doesn't have description, I would check two things. So if it has idea connected to it, and this is the system way we detect if it's an upvote, because once you click the upvote button, we assign the ID of the idea you clicked on.
So more than does it come from idea? So it's a little bit, because idea connected, it's more complex.
Yeah. So if it doesn't have description, but it does come from idea, I would automatically save it.
And then, this one, we will have the flow, but it will go directly to whatever we will have in the analyzer.
And what if it's no? I would show an error. I mean, we need one or the other information, no, to make it a feedback, basically.
Yeah.
And then this gives less work to moderation, because they get to moderate only the ones that are not connected to any existing idea and have some description to read, no? Shall they see like any way explicit if it's someone's opinion or an actual feedback?
Okay, we haven't covered this part yet. Okay, if it has a description and it comes from we take it one way or the other, but we don't have here the difference between it's my opinion or it's a customer. And this one is the one that comes from the link.
Yeah. So now the question is, before we jump to moderator, is do we want to have a customer link or we want to make it an action? So on the last episode, we agreed that we want to, if we scroll to the left on the board, we wrote that we want to force the user to be clear on their choice. This is the sentence, no?
We want to force the user to be clear on their choice. Okay. Actually, customer link. Yeah, maybe we don't want the customer link as the thing we have to have. Maybe it's the indication if it's a feedback or a vote.
So it's indication if it's your opinion or feedback on behalf.
Okay, so we were saying we're not going to calculate it based on if there's a link or not. Okay, but does this affect if it goes to moderation or not?
No, I don't think so.
But even if it's your opinion, it should go to moderation. Yes, because again, it could be something that we already have in the system or something that doesn't make sense.
Or you are writing about sales price that you don't like the price that you would be paying if you would be customer, but I may not really care about it. In the very context we are using user signal for now, so we keep the product feedbacks, their operations live somewhere else. So
okay. And so this started because you were asking the question that if in this moderation flow we need to tell the moderator if it's opinion. Well, it can be an information.
Yeah, but what I was thinking does it need to be explicit or does it influence anyhow how the moderator gonna do the job? But I don't believe it changes anything. So yeah, it should be as a metadata somewhere in the screen.
Yeah, I think it's interesting as a metadata in case you need it, but not like.
But it's not a decision maker, no?
Nothing you should filter
if
by.
If I have this, then I will think a bit differently for opinions versus feedbacks. No, I would just do the same work. So
same level as you would have the country or this kind of information.
Okay, awesome. So the moderator accepts then or rejects. That's great. And from there, this feedback becomes available for the analyzer to see it.
Exactly. So if they reject, it's like the flow ends there.
Yeah.
And if they accept, then this means it gets attached to an idea, and then the idea goes to the ideas list that the analyzer will see.
Yeah. So for the analyzer, what's important for us is...
Okay, so the analyzer opens the ideas list and they have filters.
Yeah, and then on the filters, let's think about them. So you should be able to filter by a popularity range.
Because another solution could be order by popularity, just like from the most popular or the least popular.
Okay.
So maybe this is something as well for the team to decide, because one is... So both work
but
for
I would
the same
say
goal?
filter and order.
Ah, you're right.
So
Okay.
with ordering, this is clear for me, no? It's like the team should find a way to order by popularity and impact. In the rabbit holes, I would write down now one assumption that we take here is that popularity equals feedbacks plus opinions, impact equals feedbacks.
Exactly. Yes.
So we don't have this discussion within the team, and then we can have like super clear information here, right?
Okay.
The other
Yes.
risk that I would add already when we are here to our watchers, it's not that risk and rabbit holes you do at any certain moment of your life. You should be doing them from the very beginning. We
Yes.
forgot in some places, so now fix it up. We don't do mobile
Yeah.
at all. Like we don't care about mobile for now. Okay. So once we have this assumption about feedbacks plus opinions and impact equals feedback, getting back to the order. So order, super clear for me. You should be able to order by popularity or the impact of the ideas. And then question is, shall we be able to filter? So do you want to see only very popular ideas?
I think the range would be useful if we really had like a big range and tons of ideas, no?
Mm-hmm. True.
And that makes me think, how are we going to calculate the popularity numbers?
That's...
Maybe that's for the developers to decide, no?
Yeah.
To make like a formula or something on...
Yeah, and here, it's more about, do we want to allow to filter? So, because solution-wise, depending on the UI, it can be easy or super hard, no?
Yes.
Because if, for example, there is a lot of feedbacks and we would be able to build the scale, we can group the feedbacks and we can pre-done the filters for them of like between 0 and 20 and 60. So we can put the feedbacks already in the buckets. But this assumes this is important information and someone would like to, and you have logic that would be grouping, and then this grouping can be challenged because maybe someone needs like a smaller group of like 0 to 5. And
So maybe it's just a nice to have that...
Or maybe we don't need it.
Maybe we don't need it.
Maybe popularity or impact of the idea is not something you want to filter out.
Yeah.
So, because filtering for me means I don't want to see ideas below X.
Yes, but already if you are ordering, you can just scroll,
Yeah.
the point where you're... Okay, so let's remove it for now.
And then I will write it down. We don't do filters of impact and popularity.
Yeah, I think it would be better to just release first this possibility of having the popularity and everything, and then depending on how it goes with the users, we can get into more details.
Yeah.
Where are you? Okay.
Yeah, I was
We don't do
typing out
filters. Yeah.
another rabbit hole. When it comes to rabbit holes and risks, the idea basically, you would clean it up before writing a pitch. So here it's, of course, our draft, but it's more to gather if you see already moments where the team can spend a lot of time on.
Yes.
Super worth writing it down and having it already here, so the team can just look at the list and we should not have this discussion, let's skip this discussion. The decision was already made, or we were told to not look there, so we don't look there. It's a great assumption, great, no? So here it's mobile, so at any moment the designer would start thinking, hey, but our cards are overcrowded, and if we need to show it in mobile, don't think about it, it's fine. We don't care about it right now.
Yes.
Same with those filters. One other thing that came to my mind is,
but it's not don't do filters for popularity, it's don't do range, no?
I would say filters and allow ordering, but don't think about filtering.
Okay, because we had this idea of this one here. So
but this is order. Show me
Okay.
most popular, show me most
You're right.
impactful,
You're
show
right.
me most
This is
voted.
order. It's not filtering. You're not
Yeah.
hiding information.
Exactly. So here I have one thing. It's like when I believe this may be a rabbit hole also for a team. So depending on if we have indication, shall we allow you to add the feedback on behalf of a customer without customer?
Without a customer link.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one. I don't know. Because I've heard about cases where they are, working in the tool and everything, and they are like, oh, I remember one customer from last week told me about this.
Mm-hmm.
Do we want them to go back to the CRM and look for the customer link and everything to paste it? Maybe yes, no? Or
Maybe yes, maybe not. I don't know. And I think we need to make this decision. So is it hard validation? Because what the team gonna have as a discussion for sure is we have the screen and there is a field. Shall we validate existence of this field or not?
Or
And
not.
shall we have logic based on this field? So
is it? Do you think that the customer success will, I don't know, hack the system, like try to put feedbacks on behalf of customers that are fake, so they don't have? Because why do we want the link? Well, we want the link to recognize to come back to the user for an interview,
or
for a
have
call.
any additional metadata around the customer themselves.
Okay,
no?
then yes, no?
Because otherwise, the only use case that comes to my mind is like, I heard it from a lot of customers, so I just wanted to click. But then your hack is click it as opinion, no? And you're fine.
Yes. Like if you really don't remember, it's more like a feeling like, I've been hearing about this, then it's like opinion. Yeah, because you're right. It would be, we would like to have the information about the customer, the metadata, no? Of them. So like we can put here the condition, is feedback added? Oh, it's so feedback. Oh my God.
Customer
it's
link.
early in the morning. It's customer link added.
Yeah, magic of YouTube. This time we didn't record all of the sessions as one meeting, so...
So if it's not added, then you go to validation error, no?
Okay. So this is adding analyzer. Do they need to have anything else?
Who?
Analyzers.
Analyzer. They have the current filters.
So before we go to detail, I believe we have card.
Okay, in the list.
Yeah.
So the list is made out of idea cards.
Exactly. But then the question is, shall we have it in details or idea cards? I do believe in the card we should have something already.
You're right.
Something like...
And actually we had it
what we
here.
Super ugly designed here.
So let's put it together. So we have idea card plus detail.
Yeah.
No? So
and
we have
in both we need to see the impact versus popularity.
And then it's up to the designer to see where they have more information or less information and how to display it, no? But actually, isn't it ability to see popularity and then breakdown of popularity, which is feedback?
We should have, because the problem we assumed is how might we help analyzer evaluate impact versus popularity of idea problem. So it's like once you are filtered to top popular ideas, you should be able to go into details and be able to see the difference between votes and feedbacks.
Exactly. So ability to see the breakdown.
Yeah.
Well, they can upvote as well if they want, but that would just take them to the, no?
Yeah, but this is then your contributor, and
that's it.
For the system, this button doesn't care. Hey, this sounds like a full flow.
I think so.
So we can add it. We don't allow you to do any manipulation, so there's no that complication. Moderators can do their job. And we don't have any moment when the signal lives in any hell, meaning like nobody gonna find them, or they don't have description customer or anything. So sounds like this could work.
Yes. The only thing that comes to mind, but maybe it's for a designer for later, so in the new signal model, there's a lot of conditions, and depending on that, it will go to moderation or not. Yeah. So shall we inform the user, or how will we inform the user of what's going on? Like, hey, this will go to moderation or not. This will be considered an opinion, or this will be considered a feedback from a user.
Because
later
it could be
the
handled,
cycle.
Even in the notification itself, no?
Yeah.
So the text you see after clicking save could be changed depending on this condition, and then you need any design changes.
Or you can have explanation inside the model that maybe changes based on what you
So do we
have.
believe we should So
no, maybe not for here. I was just thinking about that, but maybe it's not. It's not for here because it doesn't change the screen. It doesn't change the actions. It's more like how you organize the content.
Yeah.
No. Nice to have. Where are the nice to have?
Different communication to user depending on if the signal will go to moderation.
And if it's
this is
an
collaboration
opinion.
in best, no?
And if it's an opinion or feedback, no?
Yeah, exactly.
And let's put here contributor.
Yeah.
Yes, it's not something super essential. But I think it's a super nice to have.
And it's super nice to have. If the team would have 5 minutes to sit on it, it would be amazing. And check it out. We already removed advanced filters for popularity ranges.
Oh, I didn't remember
in what's
this.
out. Yeah.
Okay.
But that's good. Means we are aligned even if few days passed in between. Okay, great. So the flow looks complete.
Yes.
What's important here for the watchers is like the whole exercise goal is imagine you would like to build a radio. No, so it's a schema of the radio. We believe if we would put some current through it, the current would go and radio would start getting frequencies and would start playing music. So similar with the system. So if we would put the user at the beginning, seems like the system flow would go and this can be built. This is what we wanted to achieve. Yes, of course, there could be 26 other things and like with the radio, what about design of it? Shall you be able to turn up the volume or not? And in our system, you cannot even edit what you added, but that's fine, no? I mean, works, and we believe doable, no? Okay, so if we believe we have this doable schema of a system, we should do the thought market sketches.
Yes.
And it's again common for everybody watching. Sometimes you do them in between. So sometimes you just start sketching ideas while you're doing breadboarding and discussing about solution like we did.
Yes, exactly, because it's a useful tool to visualize what you're talking about.
Exactly.
No?
So you don't need to necessarily go like, I'm doing this part and then I'm doing breadboarding and then only now I'm gonna do thought market sketches. No, you could be jumping in between. This is just the way we recorded it. But thought market sketches. Let's sketch something.
Yes. So I would say, I see you want to copy paste.
Of course, I want to copy paste.
But let's start from the beginning, and then because first we need to do the contributor, no, as we have in our flow. So this would be one thing we want to sketch the new signal model maybe. So let's go for it. We have our new signal model, and this is a square. I'm going to do it like super ugly.
And it doesn't need to be pretty.
Actually, it's better if it's not pretty in general, no? Because the less pretty, the less attached you are to the fact that it has to be a model and the title has to be on top. Yeah. And so there's more room for the designer and the developer to make decisions.
So, yes, we have description there.
We said we have description. What else we said we have?
Some additional data that we can just do, like, let me draw them. This is our additional data.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna do prettier.
No, it looks nice like this.
This is prettier additional data.
This.
But we need to have an indication, no? So it's for me or customer.
Okay.
This is something we miss here.
That's the thing. Did we specify, what did we say in the end? Indicate.
To indicate. Let's do something that would be brutal but would work. So radio buttons.
Without representing any...
Oh, yeah, better. So now they look like actions.
Yeah, I know it's a bit picky, but it's like if we make radio buttons, it can happen that at the beginning people think we have to make radio buttons, and not everybody will.
But this can be radio button.
It can be, but it can be a pill, maybe, or...
So this is new signal, right? And then here would be a customer link somehow. Okay, but we don't need to have it right now. But yeah, this is new signal.
Okay.
But you have customer link only in a case if it's customer, no?
Okay.
And then it's super detailed. So let's forget about it. They will know from the sketch. So let me draw something super quickly. So, and how about?
So you first make the decision if it's for you or if it's for a customer.
In the case of vote. So I don't know yet about signals.
So that's the thing. I was thinking at the beginning as well, in the case of vote and in the case of signal, but then here in the breadboarding above, you were saying, let's think about it as the same
That's
model.
why visual things are good, no?
Okay. This is why in my head they were different things.
But maybe we can merge these designs in a sec. Let me just explain what I have in mind. So if you go for vote,
yes.
I believe this is all you need to do.
Yes.
So it's like you say, I like this idea, click, no?
Wait, this is for you then. So I like this idea, it's for me, it's a vote.
Okay, so
it's a vote.
It's a vote for me, because you can vote on behalf too, no? It's like the customer told me exactly this thing, +1. So works for both, no? So it's a voting system.
Okay.
And then you choose if it's for you or for customer. What we have from now already is we know if it's for your customer and we know which idea.
Yes.
So everything else is redundant, meaning like if you add the description, great, but we already said it's optional. If you add anything else, amazing, but it's optional. We already know it's +1 to this thing, but done by customer or you. So you can add more stuff, but as well you can have save. So then the quickest action is, it's for me save. It's for customer, this one save.
Okay. So add more stuff. Basically, it's just, it would be add description, can be...
Or custom property, no?
It's like...
Yeah, exactly like this. Something like plus description,
so plus description, plus file, maybe exactly. Attachment. And that's it. If it's for you, you can have description, attachment, and that's it.
That's all.
Nothing else.
If it's for customer, you will have other fields there, no?
Yes.
So add customer, and that, as we said, it's gonna be required, no?
So if it's for customer, then you can have description, you can have attachment, and then you have a required field. Let's make it more like a box, because if it's going to be required, is this one here? Okay, this is customer link.
Yeah.
And this one is required.
Yeah.
There you go. So that's our vote.
So voting would be super easy, but this means we are forking the new signal model. Can we redesign new signal model to look the same? No.
What do you mean?
So I have new feedback. What's the most important thing about the feedback? I believe is description.
Yes.
So can we have this, but only with description, and then everything else becomes optional?
Okay, I see what you mean.
So then it's the same form. It's just which field is selected first, no?
So you only have description?
Yeah. And then the rest is buttons, like add customer, add attachment,
add country,
add something.
And then it's for customer goes to the top, or?
Yeah.
Okay, so we have new signal model, it's for me. So the basic one for the signal would be it's for the customer.
Yeah.
And then you add the description plus...
customer link. No, we already
customer
said
link.
it would need to be there too.
That's what we have now.
Yeah, but now when I started thinking, it's like we do give customers an option to add like custom properties. So this list of plus country plus attachment could be any
more
long you want. And already I know from reality country we want to have in every feedback added for some of the customers that do want to have a country definition. So it's not that you can just add description and we will not have it. So I'm thinking that more we define this super design that we did for new signal, more it's gonna end up to be a form that we have currently.
Okay.
Because even here it's like we will be adding interactions for them. So it's if we know country gonna be needed in 90% of cases, the interaction gonna be fill in, click, fill in, instead of fill in. No, so we add here. For the upvote, I still believe this can be
because the upvote is different.
Yeah.
So then
it's a new model. Woo!
Yeah, but is that the first one we were doing? No, you have description, you have customer link, and then you have whatever.
Yeah.
You have whatever you need.
Yeah.
No.
I deleted the not needed ones.
Z. No, wait. This one we need because it's the same. Well, that's fine. So is this the same, but one is for me and one is for the customer?
But we don't need to be that detailed.
No? Okay.
I mean, let's have it because we already have it. But okay, so we would have at the end two different models.
But what if it's for me? I don't need the customer link.
Yeah, true.
Yes, we will have two different models. I think so.
So new vote is different than adding a feedback, because for new vote, if it's gonna be mostly like, oh, my customer told me the same, we are not adding interactions here, no? So it's you choose, but the customer link safe. If you want to have description, attachment, whatever, then it's hidden for you.
Okay, so we have to. We have several differentiation. One differentiation, it's the starting point.
Yeah.
So either you start from just new signal or you start from upvoting, and once you do that, the result can be an opinion or can be a feedback in both cases.
Yeah.
And the only difference is that if it's a feedback from vote, it will already be connected to the idea, and the other one will have to be connected later.
Exactly.
Okay. I was just making a summary to make sure
that makes sense.
we're aligned. Okay.
So this is the design we need to do. What else would need to start having some design? Filters, but that one I would just copy paste what we did last time. But for me, this is the visualization of the filtering. Let me copy paste it to the solutions. But this is filters for me. This is what's needed for our filtering system, and this is the whole design I would give to the design team.
Okay. Show me. I like this. So the fact that they are like standalone gives more room to we are not telling you it has to be in the sidebar.
Yeah.
In case they want to maybe open a model because it becomes complex or something. Yeah. So I like this. And then show me most popular idea and most voted, most impactful, or most voted,
or however you want, no? But for what's important for me is that it's and between those, so it's not or. And basically I wouldn't try to do simple filters, so predefined filters instead of, as we were talking, no? So we can do ranges. So show me ideas that are more popular than 5 but less popular than 6, and it goes on, no? But let's say you want to see most popular, least unpopular, and then impact versus opinions you should see. Most voted, impacted, popular. So this is filters.
Well, it's ordered by, no, as we said.
Yeah.
It's not the filters. And then the other thing we need to draw, we were drawing here the detail of the card with tabs.
Yeah.
The thing is that let me see if we can simplify it, because I don't fully like to leave it as tabs, because maybe that's not like the solution. If we just go like something like this, so we remember.
Yeah.
Total popularity, and then that's the breakdown, and then you can show it whatever you want.
Yeah. And I know you will not like this part about the card, but I would keep it like this.
You would keep it, okay.
Because I don't believe any designer would design it like this.
Okay.
I mean, if you're very edgy designer, you would use exactly this design. But it's important for me to say popularity is the most important factor. And then we should have some hint about the customers, just from practice, no?
Okay.
Because I saw ideas with hundreds of votes, none of them being from customer, no? It's like super popular. I would like to see it because it says something to me, but if I would need to make a decision to jump on it, I would say 0 customers in it. So what's the second one? Okay.
Yes. So it looks good like this, no?
Yeah.
Then it's a matter of, can we... Okay. Sorry, I'm so picky.
Be picky. Come on. You're co-founder here.
So just to make it even worse, So it's not like a sidebar. So maybe it's like...
but it can be whatever.
Ordering. Yeah. Because even it can be like a line on top.
Yeah. We could do it as a model. 26 different things could come. So
somehow you order it with these conditions that we really want to have.
Yeah. Then you need to show it on a card and have some breakdown inside. Sounds pretty good to me. I could build a pitch out of it.
Okay. Nice. Anything else we're missing from here? Analyze the ideas list. Do we need to do anything for moderation? I don't think.
I don't know. No. Because moderation is not impacted in any way. We were talking about it. They just accept or reject, so nothing changes in their system. The The decision-making process will not be impacted by is it vote, not, etc.
Yes.
The base case scenario is some of the signals will not go through moderation, so it's
That's
less
it.
work for them,
Less
basically.
work for them. Okay.
So yeah, and then I would say
I
we
would
are
say
done,
have
no?
it. Yes, I think we have it.
That's a nice moment. And then in reality, what happens is normally you would now start writing a pitch,
Yes.
which is a bit more condensed and trying to tell the story about what do you want to pitch. And you may find out of like, oh, and we forgot about this one once I'm typing it, no? But that's the point. It's like if you would do this whole session that we divide into 3 episodes, like in a one sitting, let's say you would spend 1 hour, 20 minutes, 5 hours if that's needed, you de-risked a lot, no? So it's like once you start sitting down on this pitch, there may be a chance you're gonna find something, but probably the big things are already away from your high mind, and it's much easier to pitch something that would be doable for a team in this period of time that you estimated or you wanted to do as a appetite.
Yes.
So just to sum up, what were the parts, that we did?
So first of all, super important, first talking about what we know, because we may sometimes tend to, I have an idea, let's jump to the solution.
Yeah.
But let's take a step back, okay? What do we know? Where does this idea come from, right? Then define the problem. I think this is super important because having the problem as a one sentence, whenever you're moving forward with defining the solution, there's sometimes that you start, making a lot of questions, thinking about big solutions. You can always come back to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even today we said impact versus popularity of an idea problem. No, we asked like, hey, but what was it? And then we came back.
Do we need it? No.
Exactly.
Do we need it? Go back to the problem definition, and then
filters are not needed because they will not help you assessing the impact.
Exactly. You will have some sort of ideation that can be, bigger or smaller depending on the problem you're solving. And
stop here because boundaries are super important. No?
Yes.
So while building and talking, I would keep getting back and adding stuff here as we were doing here. And even on today's ones, what's out, second point, we spent some few minutes thinking about these filters that we already killed. No? So this section is exactly for this. So you can remember about what's not needed, what you absolutely should forget about in order not to complex too much.
Things that we already went through during the shaping sessions and we already know we don't want to do. The appetite, I forgot, super important. And ideally should be done after problem definition, right? So you have a problem and it's like, how much time do I want to invest on it? Exactly. And based on that, you will decide which decision with the solution.
What solution? I mean, it does drive later when you ideate and try to do breadboarding, etc. This one wasn't the one that requires the most complex feature. No, let's agree on that one. But there are sometimes much more complex features that you need to build, and then keeping that in mind will drive you to other possible solutions or different assumptions or decisions you're gonna make. No, because it's like 6 weeks. Okay, maybe I have a bit more. No, if it's 3 weeks, it's like what's the core value increment I can bring in those 3 weeks. And what's the once we have this, people will start talking about that one, but if they don't have this core foundational part, they will not start the problem about not being able to export the results of whatever they're doing in your software. If
absolutely.
The software doesn't exist, export is not relevant, you can cut it out. So it's working a lot with scopes.
And also even for the case when you only see one solution that is very complex, you can always come back and be like, but do we really want to get into it? Because our appetite is not for that. So maybe it's a project that is not even worth doing.
Yeah, because it's like one customer. You really like this customer, but he brings like 100 euros and you see 6 weeks and maybe it's a bet or maybe not versus you have something, I don't know, from 10 customers. They pay probably 1,000 already. So where do you want to invest? No, this is why appetite is about investment and not how much time will it take you to build it for me. No, it's a different discussion here.
Yes.
Okay, and then once we have our boundaries and we have our ideation, what we did today is the breadboarding. So trying to build a blueprint schema, like a flow of would this, if I put a current here, will it flow through the whole system and this will work?
It's like a map.
It's like a map, and allows you to see if you're missing some places or maybe is there already a place where this new thing you want to build should exist and etc. And then last but not least, at least in our case, but as I said, you can do it in between in parallel, is trying to generate some visual artifacts so it's easier to explain later. No? So if we see at the ones we generated, I believe going now to the designer and saying like, hey, about the popularity, check it out. This is what I would like to have on a card. Yes, it's ugly. But this can be a discussion, no? We can start a discussion about it, like, oh, but do you really want to have a flame there? No, it's, I really wanted to show it's super hot.
But it's super important to,
yeah. But it's enough for a team to say, like, okay, so let's think about how to visualize, but we get what are the most important informations we should be having, or what is the flow of the management in mind, like here with the new vote versus new signal. Hey, let's play around. Can we simplify the new vote to get a better experience for a user? And then, one that we were filling in and filling out was risks and rabbit holes.
Yes.
Normally, I would spend some time later when writing a pitch. I would be going through the sections we had in a shaping board, what's in, what's out, boundaries, etc. And I would be rephrasing some while writing a pitch. I would add a bit more risks and rabbit holes just to make it explicit to the team that if you come to the discussion about this, stop. No, just forget. Don't do it. It's okay. I say you can forget about emails. Nobody will know. My decision. That's okay. No. But this part I would say I work the most already on the pitch. So during the shaping, usually I add some stuff like we added today. And then while writing a pitch, it's like, you have this refresh in your mind. And then we said that not to do don't do this. I am super explicit. Don't do this because we will end up not finishing this project, or I'm not interested in this part.
Exactly. As we said, the template is more to remember that you need to touch all the points, but it's very flexible, so you can be filling it up from different parts. The only one that I always try to keep a little bit separate is the problem definition from the solution. So I see like a line in here, no?
Yeah.
Like what we know on problem definition, because it's different mindset, no? Thinking about the problem and thinking about solutions.
Yeah, and it's super important to do them separately. I mean, first define problem, then go to solutions. Because your first solution is not gonna be for the problem, and then if you have problem already defined, you can slim them down to start matching your problem.
Yeah.
I mean, that's my assumption, no? That the ideas usually are over-engineered, what you're gonna have, because you're gonna have thinking about the perfect user experience. So it's like, I can have Siri, but how about API to my brain, no? And then you need to build down from that, and it's hard to process, especially if you had this great UX in your mind. But if you have problem already, you tend to find the simplest solution to the problem instead of like, oh, but how about brain? Okay, this guy needs like a form to type stuff in.
And that's it, exactly.
And from there, maybe another problem is you will have people that don't have hands, or they are too lazy to type. Okay, then brain, API, Siri makes more sense, no? Maybe it's not needed for the first iteration necessarily, or even if it's 15th iteration, maybe you're looking at very specific things. So it's important to do them separately. Yeah, for sure. And this is how we do this basically now. So you can love it, you can hate it. It helps us a lot, I guess, to like the whole process to understand what we really want to do and make it as less risky as possible when we hit the team and the development stage. Okay, so I think we have it. Thank you so much for this last part of the 3 episodes shaping session. I hope you like it or you find it useful. If you have any comments, questions, write them here on Twitter, on YouTube. Yeah, whenever you can reach us out. That's the sentence they wanted. And it's been a long session. Again, in reality, it's anything from 20 minutes to 5 days. Totally. You should be trying to be fast, no? So that's the whole idea. Is like you should be able to do it you're alone or with 2 people within an hour. You know, sometimes the problem gonna require from you 5 days of being in that room, but it's rather to be fast. So don't get that, oh no, 3 episodes, 5 hours of watching. What the hell is this system? With my Scrum, I just write stories in 5 minutes and I'm done. No, and I don't need to spend 3 days on it. It's not always 3 days. It's in order to show, we need to make it a bit longer. Cool. So, thank you, as Hunkal said, and see you around. No? See you. Bye. Bye. Bye.